Now, Mavis is back again this week with her thoughts on what's happened during the virus. And she and Phyllis are taking online shopping quite seriously and also talking about who they have to have in their support bubble.
Well, dears, when it started to seem like the rules of the virus were easing up a bit, it was equally confusing trying to figure out what everyone was allowed to do and who was allowed inside your support bubble, as that Boris put it. That's right, Phyllis. He did say that people were allowed to do a sport or two, or even about how's your father if they were single, but that was all a bit muddled and no one really knew what they were talking about. No one wanted to be in your bubble, Phyllis. You had to choose wisely who you had in your support bubble. I still didn't trust being too close with anyone, especially my friend Gladys. She always get right in your face when she talked to people. No such thing as personal space. You have to say, now hold your heart, Gladys, back up a couple of 3 feet, because I can see your cataracts and smell your denture cream. Here. That's right, Phyllis. Gladys did introduce us to getting things delivered to your house from the supermarket, and that was ever so handy during the virus, because that saved Phyllis going out wearing that old gas mask from the loft and her gardening gloves every time she go to Tesco. So you could order whatever you wanted and as much as you wanted on the line, and then they come out and they put it straight on your doorstep. Much like the Corona man that used to come round. Though I shouldn't like the Corona coming round to the house at the moment. Am I right, Phyllis? Yeah. But there was one time where I wanted to get 4 cans of beans, but I accidentally put an O next to the 4, so that was 40. But I also hadn't realised that they were multi-pack beans. So we had 160 cans delivered. Well, Phyllis wanted to eat them all, but I said I'd need to borrow her gas mask if she do. So we donated a few to charity, and the rest we just have stacked around the house. And they're quite handy too. You can use them as steps to the bath or weights for exercising. And they were even good to put underneath the table that Phyllis cut the legs off that was on the hat. Well, that's ever so frustrating though if they ain't got what you asked for. So one time I wanted some marigold seeds and they substituted it with a pair of rubber gloves. And another time I wanted a few pears for my fruit salad and they sent some coal tar soap. And you tried to order that old Paul McCartney CD, didn't you, Phyllis? And then they sent some of them vegetarian sausages instead. And of course, Dillis always have to take advantage out of a situation. So she decided to make her own delivery service. You ended up buying something from her because she made you feel sorry for her. But she had all sorts of things she put in a big old basket and then place it on your doorstep, ring the doorbell and then step back 2 metres, and if you wanted something from it, she'd watch and make sure you put the right money in the box. And that weren't cheap. She'd sell her manky old strawberries for £1 each, and I got an old Mara from her too, and she charged £5 for that. I had to use Phyllis's chainsaw to cut it because that was so firm. And she had all sorts of odds and ends in there that she'd try and flog. Old bits of wool, Christmas cracker toys, bags of pasta that were all different shapes. I think she just had a bit of a clear out in a sweep and then tried to sell her rubbish. Oh no, Phyllis, is it Dillis? Well, she could probably see us. Put the net curtain down.
I can see her through the window. I've got some biscuits this week.
Biscuits? Yep, and I'll bet there'll be them biscuits she swiped from me. Better buy them back, Phyllis. Cheap yell. She's not coming in my support bubble.